Good morning from County Monaghan Town. My name's Vincent Macklin. In 1987 I formed Panic Sound and Light. So we initially were just basic sound and lighting company doing small local events, but over the years we have grown now to be a major supplier of staging, sound lighting, LED screens and that sort of thing. We do everything from musicals, school shows, vintage days, agricultural shows, outdoor events, right up to festivals of up to about 10-15,000 people. So I can supply complete package for any festival, so sound, lighting, screens, stage, barriers, front of house tent, the whole lot. And that's kind of our strong point. So I'm very conscious now that it's approaching the 12th of March, and it was 12th of March last year when we did our last gig. And I just wanted to make this little video to, I suppose, bring it to the attention again of people that our industry has been very much forgotten about. And that when this whole COVID thing ends, that people are going to be anxious to get out. They've been cooped up for a year, they're going to be anxious to get out, they're going to want to go to events, festivals and things, and there won't be an industry here if something isn't done. We all were prepared for 3, 6, maybe 9 months of closure, but nobody was prepared for the fact that 12 months later we'd still be closed and with very little prospect of anything happening in the near future. And vehicles are a big part of our business. As you can see, our lorry, which would be carrying the gear, usually the audio and lighting gear. We have our own 50-foot cherry picker. Our van. We have a 40-foot trailer, which we bought last March, about the 8th of March. Ready for the busy 2020 season, which never happened, so that actually never left the yard. It's loaded with our 15-metre curved stage for outdoor events. We also have this lorry here, which is our 26-ton rigid, which carries a lot of the heavier stuff for the outdoor staging, like the ballast blocks and the stage decks and that kind of thing. And then this black unit here is our fold-out trailer stage. This is the biggest trailer-based stage in Ireland. It folds out to give a stage that's 40-foot by 40-foot floor area and 25-foot high. So it's very impressive. But again, didn't get any use. It was booked out. It was booked for a lot of events last year, and none of them happened. All these vehicles are supposed to be taxed, tested, etc, etc, etc. So if I was to avail of the LPSS, I would have to have these vehicles all ready to go and on the road. My insurance bill is $14,000 a year, and you don't have to be a mathematical genius to figure out that that is the total of, if I was getting pup payment, $350 a week, that would be the total payment gone, just on insurance. I received a gig to the value of €1,000 out of that first 5 million thing, and to get that 1,000 I had to basically spend 14,000. So it doesn't make sense. There is no sort of plan, no endings in sight. So what I would like to see is some sort of a plan which would allow smaller events to begin using some sort of rapid testing or whatever. I don't think it's impossible. It's something that needs to be explored. And in the meantime, a straightforward, uncomplicated system of financial support. A lot of the LPSS that I mentioned before, you have to apply, and there's a lot of paperwork involved. And it's not necessarily the events that deserve it the most that will get it, but it's the people who know how to apply and how to fill in forms and who are used to that sort of thing will probably benefit more. The next tranche of the LPSS is 50 million, which is a substantial amount of money. And if it's divvied out the way that the 5 million was done, the vast majority of it is going to stay inside the M50. And that's no good to people obviously outside of the M50, of which there are many. 50 million, if it was divided down into, is 1 million per week, and that could support 2,000 businesses to the tune of €500 per week for 1 year. And I think that would be much more beneficial to keeping the industry alive during this sort of time when there's nothing happening, than giving it to a handful of venues and bigger performers. I know they all need to get their piece, but they would if it was divvied out in a sort of a format which is similar to the CRSS. So here we are, 1 year on. It's 9th of March today, and our last gig was 12th of March last year. No plan for reopening entertainment or events. No supports. We want to get back to work, obviously, but in the meantime we need financial support, and I can't really understand why the CRSS hasn't been applied to all businesses affected by the closures. It seems to have been only given to the pubs, hotels and retail. But is our business not as legitimate, not as viable? We employ huge numbers of people, provide a lot of entertainment, a lot of wonderful events, and bring tourism. Tourism is a big part of what we do. So we need support. We need it now. The performers also are not benefiting, and without the performers there is no industry. The musicians, the show bands, the wedding bands, the DJs, all considered to be insignificant maybe by the powers that be, but they are the core of the business. So if we've no performers, there's no point building stages, no point hanging lights, no point putting up PA systems. So that's my bit. We need support. We need it now. I've been in business for 33 years, and this is the first time ever something like this has happened. I've worked away, kept my head down, as do most people in the business. You never really hear from us, and we never ask for anything. We contribute to the VAT, the income tax, the whole lot, and now the tables are turned and we need support.